off kilter still there. Let me see if I can fix that. Still weird. Yeah, just a second ago during the countdown, the whole camera apparatus just collapsed and dumped the phone on the floor. So hopefully I got it set back up here. What do we got? Welcome to another episode of the Uncaring. I have not been drinking already. Welcome to another episode of the Uncanny Spirits Club. Guess what? It's live, so I'm not going to be able to go back and edit that out or whatever my fingers are doing. So, live, censored, unfiltered. I'm starting a new series within the Spirits Club. I'm still going to be doing my regular tastings as often as I can, but I've also started something called the Cheap Shot Challenge. And the Cheap Shot Challenge is I buy something off the shelf that's ridiculously cheap and that calls itself hard liquor. And let me just switch my TV around here so it's not changing light all over the place. And I see how it stacks up compared to other decent liquors that I've had. And so this, what I grabbed today is probably a bad idea. This is 11 Jones American blended whiskey, blended American whiskey. Now this is lower proof because a lot of the really cheaper things are lower proof, and they're not like they're not in the special area in Ohio where you gotta get them off the special shelves. This is only 42 proof, so it's only 21% alcohol. So you'd have to drink quite a bit of this to get the same feeling as something else. This was on sale for $10, $9.99. Now I've had things like this at this level. Early Times makes a off-the-shelf, low-proof like this. That's roughly about the same price. It's like $10. So, and it's alcohol. That's about all I can say for it. I know Early Times actually makes some higher quality stuff that people tend to enjoy, but this was just off the shelf. So this is something that's dirt cheap. It's right off the shelf, and we're gonna see what happens when we drink a little bit of this. Ooh, that smells like alcohol. Not sure it smells like whiskey, but it does smell like alcohol. So, I'm gonna pour that on my ice cube here. It definitely has a lighter color, more drab color, not very reddish. I'm just gonna let that sit and let the ice kind of melt into that a little bit. It smells a little bourbony, but that can be deceptive. Doesn't smell particularly strong, which again, it's only 42 proof. And at $10, I'm not expecting a whole lot. Now, you may ask, while my ice is melting, if I'm calling this the Cheap Shot Challenge, why am I not having just a shot? Well, I wanted to give it its fair shake and give it a good, proper tasting. And I just thought that Cheap Shot Challenge sounded good. So that's what we're doing. So I'm letting that kind of distill a little bit. What are some other cheap things that you guys would recommend that are not clearly horrible? I don't want to just do a challenge thing like people do the hot chip challenge. People do like a gross shot challenge and things like that. I don't want to do anything that's designed to make me be like, it's gross. I just want to try something that potentially could surprise me, but probably isn't going to. So if you have any suggestions, drop them off in the comments here or send me an email at uncannyspiritsclub@gmail.com. I believe it's just Uncanny Spirits Club and not the Uncanny Spirits Club. I think I've been telling people the wrong email for a while. So uncannyspiritsclub@gmail.com. Send me an email there. Or if you have something that's truly excellent, that's inexpensive but not necessarily cheap, then you can send me that too. Inexpensive for me is within the 30 to 40 range. That's what I consider inexpensive for a good spirit, whereas average is around the 40 to 60 range, and getting pricey is anything that's usually above $60, getting into like the 70 and 80, $100 kind of stuff, which I'm reluctant to buy usually because there's plenty of good stuff that you can get in the from 30 on up. So, but if you do have suggestions of any kind, by all means, if you want it to go to a specific show like this one, the Cheap Shot Challenge, make sure to specify that in your email or comment. And if you'd like me to just do a standard tasting, then just say do a tasting or something. And no, I will not start doing the gross out challenges. Like I'm not gonna do I'm not gonna make a cement mixer and drink that. Nope. If you know what that is, then you know why. If you don't, go have one. Go order one at a bar, and then tell me how you feel about it. Cement mixer. Yeah, I don't do those like hot chip challenge, gross out stuff. I don't do that. That's not my thing. I don't like that. So the ice is about half melted. I don't want to keep you guys here too long, so I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of it because it should be nice and chilled now. Once again, this is 11 Jones blended American whiskey, and it has a little story on the side. Actually, it has a little story. According to legend, Louisville, Kentucky's 11 Jones Cave is named for the 11 Jones brothers, who used the cave as a base for their bank robbing and counterfeiting operation during the mid-1800s. The brothers reportedly outfitted the cave with individual living quarters and treasure storage rooms, and then protected the cave's main entrance with a grate of iron bars and a cannon. A cannon. What happened to the Jones brothers? The legend recounts that they mysteriously abandoned their hideout, but not before collapsing part of the cave roof to keep their treasure hidden forever behind tons of stone. It's an interesting story. Don't know if it's true, but Cheap Shot Challenge, $10 whiskey, 42 proof. Let's see if there's any taste to it at all, or if it's just pure ethanol in flavor. Okay. Deep breath. Yeah, and there's next to nothing there. There's the vaguest flavor hint that may have been some kind of a something similar to whiskey at some point in its life. I probably shouldn't have put in the ice cube even because that watered it down even more. So there's literally like almost nothing to this at all. It has a little bit of reminiscence on the edges of Jim Beam, maybe something Canadian, like a Canadian whiskey, maybe some Crown Royal, but there's almost nothing there. Like I don't feel anything going on. That's like seltzer, like hard seltzer without the seltzer part, which you would say, oh, that's just alcohol, right? No, it's like it's still hard seltzer, which is water, but without the bubbly part. None of the carbonation. It's vaguely whiskey-esque. It is not the worst thing I've ever had. Like, it's not terrible. It's not doing anything for me, but it's not terrible. And there might be something I can do with that. Like, I might be able to jazz that up with some bitters, or or some vermouth or something. I don't know. I'd have to look into it. Maybe some kind of flavoring, but yeah, there's really nothing to this at all. And $10 is you're buying a $10 bottle of whiskey flavored water. Basically, this is whiskey flavored water for $10. At least it's in a glass bottle, so you don't got that horrible plastic taste that you do with some of the cheaper stuff. And that is one of the things I won't do even for cheap alcohol. I won't do plastic anymore. It's just gross. Um, it says it's expertly and artfully blended. See that? I wonder if that means they took like a dropper, like you know how I take my dropper and I put my drops of water in my scotch to open up the flavor. I wonder if they took a dropper of whiskey and put it in a cup of water to open up the water's flavors. But yeah, there is nothing to this at all. Not even a little. In fact, I have a bottle of Southern Comfort in there that is the same proof, that is infinitely more flavorful than this. It's super sweet. It's almost cough syrupy sweet. And I'm wondering if maybe if I mix this and that, it'll make something that's not as sweet that maybe tastes like grown-up alcohol. Maybe, because this isn't doing nothing for me. This is $10 that could have been better spent on something else. And of course, my daughter is supposed to be in bed, and she's up using the bathroom, interrupting my video. Oh well. But yeah, this is there's nothing to this at all. I could probably drink half this bottle before I started to get some kind of a buzz or a feeling or something. And I wouldn't even notice, I don't think. It might be a good addition to like a cola or something if you just wanted like a super light Jack and Coke style drink. If you just wanted some whiskey flavor in your Coke. But yeah, so there's that. So there's the first cheap shot challenge. Not horrible. Like, I'm not grossed out. I'm not dying. I'm not coughing a bunch from just having a straight alcohol taste. But there's literally like nothing to this. Not a thing. No kick. No bite. Whiskey flavored water. That's what you got. So there you have it. 11 Jones, the Kentucky legend, American blended whiskey with natural flavors. 11 Jones, you have failed the cheap shot challenge. The goal is to try to find something that tastes good for a very low price. And I mean, I could give it to you. It doesn't taste bad, but it just doesn't taste like much at all, is what it is. So that's why I'm not going to give it to you. You have failed the cheap shot challenge, 11 Jones. And by association, Brookstone Distilling Company, Louisville, Kentucky, you have also failed. Now, I did some research on this before I did the video. And Brookstone Distilling Company is a shell company owned by Sazerac. Sazerac is the parent company that owns Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace is good. Weller is good. Sazerac itself is good. Blanton's, made by Buffalo Trace, one of the most expensive bourbons out there. Rare, hard to find, sought after by bourbon hunters this entire state over. And they still think that they need to make like a quick buck on something like this. So I guess I could say well played, Sazerac. You scored another sucker. I probably won't buy another bottle, but again, it's not that it's bad. It's just that there's nothing there. There's literally nothing. It's whiskey flavored water. I cannot emphasize that more. Vaguely whiskey flavored water, which means putting the ice cube in it just made it worse. It made it even more water. So that's it. That's the chip shot. The cheap chip shot. Ooh, a chip shot. The cheap shot challenge. 11 Jones, $10. You failed. So I have some ideas for what I'm going to do for the next one of these, and things that I have had before in my youth that were a mistake then and will probably still be a mistake now. So keep an eye out for those. I'm just going to let that kind of simmer with you and let you guess what that might be. And in the meantime, cheers, I guess, if that's what you call it.